Defenselessness is itself the greatest defense. Even the desire to defend your position against somebody is ego-driven, right? It is born out of ego. And at the root of it is an underlying assumption that I must protect myself. I, an individual separate entity, must do something to assert my authority, assert my righteousness, and prove to the other party that my position is correct, my belief is correct, and that I am worthy. I must prove that to the world at all times, that I am worthy and that no one can destroy my rights. No one can challenge my rights. The need to defend ourselves in conversations, even in day-to-day life, is born out of the idea of separation. And as long as we carry around with us this belief that I have something to protect, that I have something to lose, that I have something to guard, then at every step of the way, we will feel challenged. Because life, will, especially if you carry all this around with you, you yourself will create these sorts of situations where you are challenged, where you have the need to defend yourself or prove your righteousness or your worth. The greater the desire, the greater the pride to prove your worth, to protect yourself, the more and more situations you will come across in external reality where you will have to prove it, where you will be challenged, your pride will be challenged, your sense of worth will be challenged. And this is the play of existence. You say that, but all of these things keep happening to me, so I must, I'm a person and I have these rights and I must, fight back. Yet we remain blind to the fact that those occurrences, those circumstances are only happening because we carry so much of this potential within us. Just like the classic example, right? The person who carries a lot of anger inside is constantly bombarded with situations which trigger him or her. And that person believes that, oh no, this anger is coming from external situations. That person is making me feel that way, or this situation is making me feel that way. But those situations are all mind created. They are a reflection of your inner potential for anger, all the anger you're carrying inside of you. Just like that, if you carry a lot of pride, if you carry a sense of righteousness and a deep-rooted belief that I must protect myself and I must prove that I'm worthy, then you will come across situations again and again in which you have to prove that fact by fighting back. And this is a cycle that will continue going on as long as this belief remains and as long as you don't recognize this. Always know that what you carry within is what colors your world. Your world is an extension of your own mind. It is not separate from it. It may seem so solid and physical and rigid, however, ultimately it is just an extension of the very own same mind stuff that is occurring within you. So that is the whole point of raising your awareness, right? To recognize these sorts of patterns and dissolve them, not at the surface level, but at the root. And so why do I say that defenselessness is the greatest defense? Because one who has no need to defend anything, one who feels no need to prove his or her worth, one who feels no need to protect or guard or prove anything, has no need to defend. And for that person, even when these situations occur where, that person is challenged, because they still may occur, the desirelessness to defend will itself begin to dissolve the situation. So when I'm saying this to you and you're learning this in the video, you may say, okay, well, I have to start somewhere. So Sunny, now this situation presents itself. If I'm not defending myself, then the other person's going to take advantage of me, or the other person's going to do this and that. And, I'm just going to be like pulled around life. So that's a mental concern that is being created by the same mind that is creating the problem. And I ask you for now to let go of that concern, simply disengage from it and try out the method anyway. And you will see for yourself that when you actually put this into practice and you stay consistent with it, that external reality begins to just stop challenging you in this way. And those situations that you were so concerned about, and yourself that you're so concerned about, right? People taking advantage of you, all that stuff also just dissolves with it. Because again, all that stuff only existed as a mere reflection of what was going on inside of you. So when you let go of this, that also begins to dissolve. And you will build this balance out for yourself. See, every single time something challenges you, you will have the urge to defend yourself and like fight against. But first, you will begin better and better at catching it. Maybe you even do argue and defend yourself, and then catch yourself later. So this catching yourself will become faster and faster to the point where even when this desire is rising, this urge is rising to defend yourself or argue back, you will just notice it. Pay attention. What is it that notices that mind stuff coming up? Be established in that. And if you're established in that, you'll be able to just let go of this urge to fight back. And as you do, this natural intelligence will direct your actions in that moment. Don't worry, you will know how to act or what other response to offer, right? Trust in the spontaneous nature of this present moment. You will, in that moment, and have that inherent intelligence as to how to respond intelligently rather than just reacting to this program, okay? And you will build out the balance for yourself, where you will start to recognize the difference between defending from ego versus just standing in your truth, right? So if the situation requires it in that moment for you to be stern, for you to actually, stand for something, then that will also occur, but it will happen from a much different energy. It will no longer happen from the insecurity and the need to defend and all that pride. And you will be able to begin telling the difference between the two as you practice this. But it's the truth. You will see for yourself as you let go of the need to defend, you will start being less and less challenged by the people in your life, the external situations in your life. And this happened to me, when I carried years ago, when I carried all that insecurity, and even up until now, relationships really bring it out of you, They will challenge you in certain ways where the ego becomes activated, right? And you want to fight back and you want to argue and you want to defend yourself. And those situations are showing to you this side of yourself, right? These urges and these insecurities and these deep-rooted beliefs that you don't ever think about on the surface. And so, me especially, I used to carry so much of this sense of wanting to prove myself, wanting to assert my righteousness. And I used to constantly come across those situations. And the more that I developed spiritually, and the more that I became present, and the more that I let go of this need and this insecurity, naturally, life just starts to flow better. I started to be challenged less. As an opposite, I started to actually get the approval from others naturally that I always wanted. But this time it wasn't coming because I wanted it. I actually let go of the need to want it or the desire for it. And then it started coming. And the harmoniousness, the love that I always desired, that I thought I had to fight for and defend, just started to naturally flow to me. And it will flow to you too. It's natural. That's how life is at its natural state, the harmonious state. But there's a lot of stuff that you're carrying within you right now that your belief system consists of that is creating these sorts of situations for you. So learn to let that go. So practice what I, just suggested in this video, and you will see for yourself the change, the shift that occurs externally. Don't ask for it to happen overnight. Don't wait for it to happen. Just continue to stay consistent with the practice, and you will see the shift happen by itself. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video, gained value from it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.